Let's be honest.
Curtains part, revealing a diverse array of people.
We've all probably been there before, having some sort of medical information we want kept private.
We zoom in and focus on a young man wearing glasses.
Maybe it's something deeply personal. Something you're just tired of having to talk about.
We cut to a group of people all saying, "I heard you have blank. What's that like?"
Or something so embarrassing you hesitate to even mention it to a doctor.
We cut back to the young man who now has an action figure stuck in his ear.
Whatever it is, you wouldn't want it being known by others. For social reasons.
Cut to the young man enjoying himself at a friendly gathering until he overhears his doctor telling someone about the action figure stuck in his ear.
And professional ones.
Cut to the young man attempting to apply for a job at the action figure company, but the recruiter is troubled to find on social media a picture of him at the hospital with their product stuck in his ear.
You want it kept private, and understandably so. You have a right to that privacy.
The young man stands proudly against a backdrop of symbols representing America, California, and individual rights.
Our patients have that same fundamental right and place their trust in us as members of the University of California workforce bound by the UC's Statement of Ethical Values.
Those values include integrity, accountability, respect, compliance with law and UC policy, and protect confidential and private records.
And required by federal and state law to do the right thing and protect patient health information as if it was our own.
A team of healthcare professionals protects confidential and private records.
Modern communication and record keeping is a double-edged sword in this regard. While it makes it easier for medical providers like UC to share information, in order to keep our patients healthy,
a UC doctor writes a prescription that is then shared with a pharmacy so a patient can receive the medication they need.
It also makes the health information patients want kept private more vulnerable to theft, prying eyes, and plain old carelessness.
Two doctors accidentally leave their bags, which contain medical records, beneath a coffee shop table.
Which is why HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, is so important. For patients who want their medical and other personal information kept private and protected, and for medical care providers like UC, who care for those patients and need to know the requirements and best practices for keeping patient information secure. HIPAA, along with several other federal and state laws.
The federal laws include GINA, HITECH, SAMHSA, FERPA, and the Common Rule, while the state laws include CMIA and the Lanterman-Petrus Short Act.
Establishes the specific criteria for protected health information, or PHI, as well as the procedures and framework for actively enforcing compliance with those standards.
Those frameworks include the Privacy Rule and the Security Rule.
And the penalties to be imposed if violations or breaches do occur, which for organizations at fault could include fines and potentially other criminal and civil penalties.
The book could be thrown at UC.
As well as the required burden of notifying affected individuals.
And those individuals will not be happy with UC.
State and federal authorities, and perhaps even the public at large through the media or other public notices.
UC has made front-page news with a headline reading, "Irresponsible behavior causes disgrace for UC," while on UCNet, UC takes accountability for messing up.
All of which can cause significant damage to the organization's reputation, credibility, and possibly even funding.
All of which could shrink.
And for individuals at fault could include penalties such as some form of disciplinary action, up to and including potential job termination, fines, and in rare cases, even jail time. Barriers to medical or nursing school admission.
You may find yourself unexpectedly rejected.
The loss of one's license, not to mention the fact that UC would have to divert time and resources away from its mission,
which includes patient care, research, and public service,
to address the consequences of the individual's actions.
That is, cleaning up the mess.
That's where this training comes in. It will help you understand HIPAA basics and recognize the importance of safeguarding patient information. Understand the criteria and required safeguards for protected health information, as well as permissible uses and disclosures of it. Identify and avoid potential breaches, and know who to contact and how when questions or concerns arise.